Good morning, it is Saturday the 4th of October and it's just coming up to 11:15. So I've been out this morning, I've had 2 airport runs, I've just got back into Ormskirk, I've had a little bit of a top up, stopped at the shop and thought I'll come out and do a little bit of Ubering now. So the weather is absolutely horrendous, just a storm. I'd imagine it's got a name but no idea what they've called this one. But yeah, the minibus is blowing all over the place as you're driving down the road. So yeah, I just thought I'd come out and see what's happening. I was just hoping really it's going to be busier because obviously the weather's so bad. I'm just going on the app now. So I've just logged on. It's saying the whole of Ormskirk is glowing completely red. So it's the first time I've looked at it, to be honest. So I'll go online now and I'll see what's happening. So it's 11:45 and it's been a busy first hour. So I think what's helped is obviously the weather for one, and secondly a lot of people were stuck at the train station. So a tree had fallen down obviously on the track. So I noticed when I logged on there was lots of jobs coming up and they were all going to Liverpool from Ormskirk or to like Wigan or Warrington or something. I thought, I'm not doing that. A lot of them were like 23 quid. The biggest one that come up, to be fair, was an XL. I think it was £38. But again, I don't do that because I see it as, that's less than 20 quid there, less than 20 quid coming back, because that's like a 2-hour trip. So I thought, nah, that's not for me, that. So I accepted this little one, said job, £14.30. It was going from Ormskirk and it was basically just going round the corner to another train station, which was 2.59 miles away. So I picked her up and she was going from the university and she said, oh, it's I was going to go to Ormskirk, but obviously the train's been cancelled. That's who I heard it off. So I was like, all right, okay. So yeah, that was 14 quid. I was probably about 2 minutes away, so I got £14 probably for about 7 minutes work there. So as I was dropping her off, I then got another job. Again, it was like another like £14. It was an XL. And it looked like it was going from Ormskirk train station to this like Townsend, I think it's called, which is the train station she'd just gone to. So I thought, oh great, I'll take that. Another little local search job for 14 quid. I'm going to be on like 30 odd quid in like 20 minutes here. So I accepted that, dropped that girl off, and then as soon as I cleared the job, it pops up saying, did I take a screenshot of it? I'm sure I did. Capital letters, we have a mobility scooter. So I was like, fuck do you want me to do about that? Like, it's like, so I'm just thinking to myself, well, as long as it folds up and they're able to get it in the boot, because there's all different types of mobility scooters you can get, get them little small ones, you can get them big massive ones and everything. So then she sends another message straight after that, and as I'm driving, it's distracting, do you know what I mean? It comes up saying, sorry, our train has been cancelled, we need to go to Liverpool. So I've had to pull over and I've put, hello, will it fit in the boot? Can it be lifted? I haven't taken the screenshot of the others. So I thought, well, because the journey was like 2.7 miles, maybe she was going to Liverpool, but it was like Maghull, which is like the outskirts of Ormskirk. So I said that, as long as you're able to lift her up and stick her in the boot, that's fine. And then she'd said, oh yeah, I think we might be able to lift her. So I said, also, you've mentioned that you're going to Liverpool. Because I was thinking, are they going to try and change the destination here? Because nothing had changed. I was still only getting like, I think it was like £13-14 or something. I said, it's only a local job, but you're saying you're going to Liverpool. So she messages back and she says, the 6 of us, a mobility scooter, and I'm going to have to change the destination. And I was like, no. I said, I'm not changing the destination. I said, because I'm only staying local, I'm not going to Liverpool. So she messaged back, she was like, oh sorry, I'll have to cancel it then. So she cancelled it and I got £6.50. So I was like, right, okay, fair enough. So as I was just coming to the little T junction, I was waiting to get out because I was heading back into the town centre because I knew loads of people were stuck at the train station. And I seen one of them, like Creed or something they're called, Reed. Wolverhampton plate slapped on the back of it, of course, heading into the town centre. So I thought, I like it because you get all like the idiots, especially like people who are out of town drivers. They'll take all these stupid jobs that come up because you're getting offered like £23-24 to go to Liverpool city centre. So they see it as, oh fantastic, this is great. And I look at it as, well, only an idiot would accept that because You're going to get to Liverpool, you're stuck in Liverpool, thousands of other Uber drivers. You're not going to get a job in Liverpool city centre, so you just ruined your shift. So anyway, I cancelled that, drove into the town centre there. Well, it was just round the corner. I got my next job. It was another surge job, £8.05, 4-minute job, going 0.9 of a mile. So I picked them up, I dropped them off back in the town centre. I was pretty much right by the train station at this point. And then another job popped up, a surge job picking up from the train station, £5.94, 9-minute job going 2.5 miles away. So I thought, well, I'll take that, it's not too bad, because it was like less than 100 metres away. So as I pulled up there, these two people were getting in. And I looked across and I just noticed, because it had been probably about 10 minutes had passed, I kind of forgot. I noticed this guy lifting a mobility scooter up, putting it into the back of this car. And I looked, I thought, well, that's that job. So I was kind of like laughing to myself, and this customer was like, oh, you're laughing at? And I was like, so I explained to them about that customer. I said, that customer over there just booked the job. And what they do is, they book it nice and local because they know you're going to accept it. And then they change the job. It happens all the time. And drivers get proper sick of it. So I said what they've done is I've cancelled it. He's an out-of-town driver. He's Wolverhampton plated. He's now pulled up. They've all jumped in. She stood there just watching him lift this big massive mobility scooter up. He's trying to fit it in the boot as best he can. It's not fitting in. I'm laughing my head off. And I'm thinking he's accepted that job now when he's off to Liverpool for like 22 quid. I was thinking, what an absolute top hat he is. So yeah, it's great. It's great. Like I like cross-border hiring because for that exact reason, because the idiots take all the stupid jobs. Now it would be no different from if I went to like Manchester city centre. I would see a job for like 25 quid and I'd think, oh, this is great, and take it. And then the local drivers would be looking at me going, look at this idiot here, that's going to take him forever, he's going to get stopped there, he's going to be going over these tram lines here, there. But I wouldn't know that because I'm not from there, and that's why I don't work them areas. But you know, these guys drive all the way up here from miles away, absolute idiots. So I was laughing my head off at that anyway. Dropped them off, and then I think they were the £8 one, so I've just oh no, sorry, that was that one, yeah. So then I dropped them off. I had this other little job here, sales job, £6, I think it was going like less than a mile. So I'm driving down to it and I'm looking at the map and I'm thinking, where they've asked to be picked up from is Church Street. Now Church Street is in the middle of Ormskirk, it's a pedestrianised zone, so vehicles can go down, but it's only for, I think, if like you own a business on that road. Big metal gates at each end, so you can't go down there. I remember like years ago when I was in the fire service, it was a nightmare trying to get down there in the fire engine. You basically had to just drive through the pedestrianised, like across the footpath and everything, because you can't actually get to it. So anyway, a message saying where you've asked to be picked up from is as a pedestrianised zone. I said, can you just confirm you're at McDonald's? So if you don't know Ormskirk, it's only small, the town centre, but basically you've got a car park at the bottom, which is McDonald's. You've got a car park at the top, which is like Styles car park. So I said, are you at McDonald's? And then put / car park. So she messaged back saying, yeah, I'll walk over to the car park. So I said, right, okay. So I pulled up at the car park, because Church Street is in the middle. You've got the car park at the bottom with McDonald's. You've got another car park at the top, which is Styles car park. So I pulled in at McDonald's, which is the car park at the bottom. So I'm sat there, and then she messages saying, right, I'm at Styles car park. And I said, well, that's not McDonald's. I clearly said to you like 3 minutes ago, I'm heading to McDonald's. So she was like, oh, well, that's like 5-minute walk away. And I said, well, look, I said, I've done my best. I said, you've set the pickup location for the pedestrianised area. I said, so I've got as close as I can to that zone. I said, and then I've told you the car park I'm at, and I've told you I'm at McDonald's. I said, you've decided to head north and go to Styles car park. I said, so you've gone to the wrong car park on purpose. Probably because it was maybe like 20 seconds closer to them. So she messages back saying, all right, well, I'm new to the area, you see. And I'm thinking, well, you're not new, because I know you get a lot of students, which I pick up a lot of them, and they're kind of like, oh, I've just moved here, I've just started my course now. But if you're new to the area, you don't know that that's called Styles car park. What you do know, you know exactly where McDonald's is. Even more so, if you're a student, you know where McDonald's is, and so you know where the McDonald's car park is. So I said, well look, I said, unfortunately I can't change the pickup location. I've come here, the time has started. I just get sent the jobs from Uber. So she said, all right, okay, we'll walk over. So I was like, right, okay. So you can see her walking over. She leaves the Styles car park. She gets to Church Street, which is where she had originally set the destination from. Now at this point, my timer is on 1 minute 58 seconds charging time, and then it clicks over and it says new pickup location set, and the timer freezes, and she set the destination now for the Styles car park. Now for me to get to that now, I need to come out of here, turn left. You can't do a U-turn. I have to basically go all the way around the one-way system. It's like another 5 or 6 minute drive to get around to that thing. So she messaged me, she was like, oh, I've managed to change the destination now, so I'll walk back to the Styles car park. Sorry about that. So I just went, bang, cancel, rider behaviour. What an arsehole. So yeah, so I've driven over here, wasted a couple of minutes to get here, and then she's changed it at exactly 1 minute 58, because I think Uber's changed the times now when you can cancel it. But if it would have just gone on to the 2 minutes, then I could have cancelled it and got, I don't know, 2 or 3 quid or something. It would have been crap. But yeah, she changed it with 2 seconds to go, and then expects me to drive around there another 5 or 6 minutes to pick it up, to then do a £6 job. So what's gone from what would have been, you know, an okay little Sergi local job turned into, well, that's a crap job, you wouldn't have accepted it. So that was it. 2 idiots up to now, but yeah, it's just turned 12 now, so I've wasted nearly 15 minutes waffling. But I'm on £34.79, which isn't too bad. So it's still all surging round Ormskirk. I'll go back on now and I will keep you updated. So it's just turned 1 o'clock, it's been another hour. Yeah, I started it from about 12 before, because I was waffling, wasn't I, for a minute. So I took a job, where was I? It was kind of like the outskirts of Ormskirk, going to the outskirts of Southport. So I seen it as it was a 20-minute job. So it was £9.37, going 9 minutes, 4.7 miles. But I had to drive probably about 6-7 minutes to it. But I was just kind of seeing it as, because the surge was kind of starting to like dissipate, I thought, well, it's roughly £10, 20 minutes work, not too bad. You're kind of on track then for £30 an hour. So I took that, tipped in Southport, but then my intention was just to turn around, start heading straight back to Ormskirk again. It started like surging back up, and all the jobs that are coming up are basically going to Liverpool city centre, because all the trains are cancelled everywhere. So a couple of them popped up from Southport train station going to Liverpool, all kind of little crap jobs, you know, like £24, £25. To be fair, one did pop up, I think it was £58, it was an XL. But again, I didn't want to do it because I couldn't. It's, you know, it's kind of one of them where you've got to kind of see what you're earning, and is that going to be better than what you've earned. So for example, if I would have took that 58 quid to get there and back, it's around 2 hours thereabouts, so you're on less than £30 an hour. However, where I'm at now, I'm on more than £30 an hour, and I haven't really done that many miles. What am I on now? I'm on 32. So before, after that first hour, I think I'd done 12 miles and I was on like, what, 30 something pound. So some of them jobs going, say, from Southport down to Liverpool and back, you know, you're going to be on like, what, 30-35 miles or something. So you're racking the miles up when you can just stay local, if it's busy, of course. So after that, I was heading back into Ormskirk, picked up a job in Burscough to take me to Ormskirk. A surge job, £12.20, 7-minute job going 3.1 miles. And then when I dropped off, I just got another little surge job, £6.19, a 3-minute job going 0.7 of a mile. So I think in that last hour it was like £32 or something. So up to now I'm on £67.50 in the 2 hours. So it's like, what, £33.50 an hour. So yeah, not too bad, to be honest. Still kind of surging. Yeah, well, it is still surging, so still surging bright red. So I'm going to go back on and see what happens over the next hour. So just turned 2 o'clock, another hour's gone, and yeah, it's been another busy hour, to be honest. So before, I pretty much haven't left Ormskirk, to be honest. I had another little Ormskirk to Burscough. It was a surge job, £8.71, 7 minutes going 2.8 miles. Then had another surge job, £9.70. That was a 4-minute job going 1.6 miles. Another surge job, £8.94. That was a priority. That was a 6-minute job going 2 miles. I took it, but I thought I'm going to finish out in the sticks here in the middle of nowhere. But I thought I'll take it anyway because it was nearly £9 for 2 miles or for 6 minutes because I was just round the corner. And then just as I was dropping them off, I got a job out in the sticks. Like, you honestly couldn't believe it. I even said to them, am I okay to turn left down this little country lane because I've never been down there before? And they were like, yeah, it's fine. So I got that job, which brought me back into Ormskirk, and that was £9.55, 11-minute job going 5.8 miles. So I think I finished on about £33 for that hour. It's not too bad. So I'm currently 3 hours in and I'm on £104.38. So that's like what, 34 12. Yeah, it's about £34.50 an hour or something. So yeah, it's been quite good. So unfortunately I've got a private booking now, even though it's still surging. It's even like when I've just dropped off, then people were walking over to me expecting to get straight in, because everywhere you go it's just chocker. All the trains seem to be cancelled. They were supposed to be going to Manchester and they cancelled it in the end because they said there's no trains going to Manchester, and all the jobs that are popping up are like people wanting to go to Manchester city centre, Wigan, Warrington, Liverpool, but all the fares are crap. That's why I haven't been taking them. So like I said, if you just stay local, done like next to no miles. What am I up to now? Done 52 miles in 3 hours, and I'm on, what was it, £104. Whereas if you take some of them jobs, you're going to be doing, I would have been on like double, if not triple that mileage now. So yeah, it's all still surging. I've got a private job. Funny story, I was just telling them. They booked it last night and they wanted to go from Ormskirk to Liverpool return. So I quoted them £120. I think there's 5 of them. It's like a bit of a girls' night out or something. And they were saying we were just going to jump the train, but we weren't too sure because the weather's supposed to be bad. And I was like, all right. I said, well, that's what my price is anyway. So it's not too bad, 120 return, considering even if you looked at the likes of Uber, I think if you booked one there and then it was like 40 something pound, but if you wanted to reserve one, which is what you would do, especially if you're going out, or if you wanted picking up, I think it was about 60, 65. So it was pretty much the same as what you'd be paying if you reserved an XL. So they said, oh well, I'm not too sure, because they look at it, you see, as we're just going to jump the train, which is, I don't know, I can't remember last time I got a train, like what, £5 or £6 each or something. So they're thinking, oh well, you know, between the 5 of us, that's going to cost us like 20, 25 quid on the train. If you know, if we book Paul, it's going to cost us 60 quid. So they were like, oh, we'll just book you one way if that's okay. I was like, yeah, of course, that's fine. So so they've booked in anyway, and then lo and behold, they've now contacted me saying, oh, can you still okay to pick us up later on? And I'm like, no. I'm too busy now, because like I'm going to drop them off, and now because I know it's busy because the weather's so bad, I know that I can just stay local and I can get like what I've been getting, about £34 an hour. So if I drive all the way to Liverpool now and back, it's not as bad from Ormskirk. It's probably going to take an hour and a half, it depends on traffic, but then that's going to give me 30 or maybe just over £30 an hour on the private job. Whereas if I just stay here local and potter about doing like 12 miles in an hour, you're still getting like £34. So what's the point going all that way? So I just said no, I can't, because I'm busy. So that's it, lesson learned. If you want to book something, and or if you want to roll the dice, that's what I've decided to do, is roll the dice. So I'll yeah, see what happens later. So that's about it. I'm just going to log off now anyway. I need to go and pick these up in half an hour, so I'm just going to nip on for a minute, and then I will be back out probably, what time will it be? 3, 4. I might be back out for about 4, 5 o'clock, something like that. So I'll catch you then. So little update, it's just come up to 5:15, so I'm just about to come back online now. So yeah, I'd done my private job before, and then on the way home I thought, you know what, I'll go and have my hair cut. Might as well. So, yeah, so I've been off for a couple of hours basically. Yeah, by the time I've done that and had something to eat and seen the family and that. But yeah, she started throwing down again now, so I thought best time to come out. So I will, yeah, I'll update you in about an hour, see how I'm getting on. Hopefully this streak of, you know, 33, 34 pound an hour continues. So, a little update, I'll try and be quick. It is 8:15, so yeah, it's been 3 hours. It's been busy, to be honest, can't really complain. Quite a few more like long distance jobs I've been doing. A lot of XLs have been coming my way. So I came back on 5:15. Little tiny one to get me going. I mean, ridiculously tiny, £3.82. It was a 3-minute job going 0.8 of a mile. I then had a surge job, £14.16. That was going from Skelmersdale back into Burscough, so it wasn't too bad because I wasn't a million miles away from it. After that, dropped off in Burscough, and then I had a job from Ormskirk going back out to Skelmersdale, £9.55, 14-minute job going 6.8 miles. I then accepted a reservation job, which the app has definitely got wrong, because it came up and it said it was going from, it says Wigan, but on the map it was like a mile away from basically where I dropped off, and it said it was going to Ormskirk, but it wasn't. It ended up going like towards Burscough, which is like miles away, so I don't know what the blip was there, but I accepted it. It was an XL job. It was £28.42. It was a 28-minute job going 9.7 miles, so I was quite lucky dropped on that one, because like I said, I was only about a mile from it when I dropped off in Skem, and basically drove a mile into Wigan for that. So yeah, I've handed out quite a few 1-stars tonight. I can't stand when people are just rude, like they don't even get in, they don't acknowledge you. I don't want a full-on conversation, I don't need to know your life story, but the real basics of me is just say hello or bye, thanks, anything. So I picked these up. It wasn't too bad, the reservation, because obviously I had to drive straight there, but I arrived 5 minutes before the pickup. So he come out and went, "Oh, just be a couple more minutes." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it." So then he disappears. So he comes back in, 5 women get in the back, not a dicky bird. He gets in the front, not a dicky bird. And like I said, we then drove for 28 minutes. No one said a dicky bird. And it was a multi-stop. So we dropped him off first. He just gets out, shuts the door, doesn't say bye or anything. So I was like, right, okay. And then we drove like another half a mile down the road. A tree had fallen over, so then I had to take like this big diversion all the way around to drop these off. We pull off. I opened the 2 doors for them. I was like, okay, thanks, have a nice evening. Not a dicky bird. No one said anything. I was just like, I just can't stand it. It makes me blood boil. So give them a 1-star, and I mainly do it so I then get unpaid from them, so I don't need to deal with them type of people again. So I was in Rufford, which is the other side of Ormskirk, rather than the job, which I should have been in the town centre. I then took a job which was Skelmersdale, going to Burscough. This was the next one, which they were the next people who then got a negative feedback as well. So went to Skelmersdale. It took me down this little country lane, and to be fair, it did say this is a dead end, but that's where the pickup point was. So I wasn't sure at what point was the dead end on this country lane. It wasn't even a country lane, it was just like an off-beaten track road. So anyway, I get all the way down it, and the blue dot, I get to these like big massive metal gates, and the blue dot is just on the other side of these metal gates. So I'm thinking, is he in there? Does he have access to these gates? Do I need to go all the way around the block to get to the other side of this country lane? Like, I don't know. So I try phoning him, no answer. So I thought, right, so I can either cancel the job or I can go all the way around the block. So I thought, right, I'll go all the way around. So I went all the way around. It turns out it was this big like fancy private school in Skelmersdale. It's a bit like Hogwarts. I've been there in the past. I picked up a lecturer from there. So I pull up, there's absolutely no signal there whatsoever. The app doesn't even notify the rider that I'm there because there's no signal. So there's a couple of people there, they were waving. I put it down, she was like, "Oh, is this for such and such?" I was like, "No, it's for Phil." She was like, "Oh, I'll phone him for you." So I was like, right, okay. So she's trying to phone him. oh, I can't get through, no one's answering. So we sat there for a couple of minutes, like, so the time hadn't even come up, you see. So it must have been about 5 minutes ago, and I said, look, I'm going to have to like go, because it's been like 5 minutes, but like, I couldn't even cancel a job or anything because nothing was working on the app. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, there's been a big funeral, you see. So then I was like, oh, a bit of a guilt trip. So I was like, right, okay. I said, I'll wait a bit longer then, because I thought, they're in the middle of nowhere, there's no signal. You know, and imagine coming out of a funeral and your Uber's got off, you know, you'd be proper wound up, like. So I was like, right, okay, fair enough, I'll wait a bit longer. So we just stand there, another Uber pulls up behind me. She asked, was it for them? No, it's for someone else. And she was like, oh, this guy's waiting as well. So the two of us are now sat there, and then one comes round the corner, you know, the classic anchor. I opened the door, he was like, all right, mate. I was like, all right, he just got in, sat there. I was like, well, where's everyone else? He was like, I don't know. So, well, do you want to phone him, mate? I said, because I need to go. I said, I've been here now almost 10 minutes. And he was like, oh, there's no signal. And I said, well, you're going to have to get out, you're going to have to walk around, you're going to have to go and get them. And the next thing, someone else starts walking around, he was like, oh, here they are now. So next thing, another two come round, and this was like a woman and another one. So they get in, and I think it was the mum and the two sons. So I was like, oh, is that everyone? She was like, oh no, we're just waiting for two more. I was like, all right. I said, so obviously I'm trying to be nice because I know they've just come out of a funeral, but then at the same time I've now been there for about 15 minutes, so I'm getting a bit pissed off, like. And again, what even more was like pissing me off is the fact that no one has any manners. Not one of them have got in and said, sorry about, you know, you've been waiting, or even after I've said to her, like, I've been waiting about 15 minutes, she's like, oh yeah, he'll be here in a minute. Like, they're just not asked. So we waited about another 5 minutes, and again I said, look, I said, I'm not being funny, I said, but I'm going to have to leave. So then luckily then the other son comes walking around the corner, and then in tow not long behind them is our fella. So again they all get in, and that was it, shut the door. So pull off again, nobody said, oh, I'm awful sorry about that or anything like that. And then I heard the wife say, oh, someone's going to have to give this driver a tip, you know, because he's been waiting a long time. Dead silence in the back, no one acknowledged anything. And then one of the sons said to the dad, oh, what took you so long, you prick? And his mum's going, oh, don't be so mean to him, don't call him a prick. And he's like, oh, but he is. And I'm thinking, how'd you call your dad a prick? And then his mum's going, hey, you should be thankful him. He said, your dad's paid £250,000 to send you three to here to have private education. And I was like, wow, there it is right there. You've thrown £250,000 to have these three ungrateful little shits educated, and this is it. Because I should have known straight away, because there's me thinking they've just gone to this venue for a funeral, but it's not. They're three little snobby arseholes, hence them coming out, and no one's asked that you've been sat there, because obviously they've been used to daddy paying for everything, so they just treat everyone like shit. So yeah, went and dropped them off anyway. £21.77. The second he got out, the door wasn't even shut, and I swiped across, left 1 star. You know, this, all the rest of it. There should be a button saying snobby arsehole, but unfortunately that's not there. So just left him a 1 star. And he's given me a £2 tip. So bearing in mind, like, I've sat there for well over 20 minutes waiting for these people, and I've had to drive around the block. At the end of the day, he knew that they were on the other side of this barrier, so again they could have sent a message saying, oh, by the way, driver, don't come down that way because it's a dead end. But again, he just didn't, so like, I was fuming. So yeah, that's it says it was an 11-minute job. I was waiting over 20 minutes, so it wasn't. It was like half an hour to 35 minutes for that job. Like I said, I originally took it because it came up as a £20 job. I thought, happy days, I'm not too far away, and it's like a 10-minute job back into Ormskirk. But turned into a nightmare, so now you got a 1 star. After that, I then had I was heading back into Ormskirk at £6.55, Ormskirk to Ormskirk. I then had a £5.31. I dropped them off at the train station. I then got a job at the train station at 5:31 going to the university, which was 0.9 of a mile away. So I thought, I'll take that because I'm here. So they climbed in, dropped them off. As I was dropping them off, I then got a job from the university going back to the train station. It was only a tiny thing. It was like, I think it was less than £4. So I thought, well, I'll take it, because again, basically you can just leave the door open, the next person climbs in. So they climb out, no one's there, it's like a ghost town. I'm thinking, fucking hell. So I'm sitting there, 2 minutes go by, I'm thinking, right, I'm getting ready to cancel and get me money here. And then a message comes up saying, just grabbing my keys. And I'm thinking, you've ordered an Uber. But then you've thought, no, I'll wait for him to turn up because I'm privileged. I'll make him sit there for 2 minutes and then I'll start finding my keys. So I was fuming. When you're looking at the clock, you think, I can't wait for this to tick over. Another 30 seconds goes by, still nothing. I'm waiting for me 3 minutes to come, so I'm cancelling it. And then I get another message to say, okay, I'm just walking over now. And I'm thinking, you've literally got like 20 seconds. And then I'm cancelling this. Still, the time goes by, he hasn't turned up, swiped, cancelled, negative feedback left. And as I'm driving off, the job pops up back again, going from the university to the train station. And I was like, no, X. Carry on driving down the road, the same job comes up again, X. And now he's standing there, and it's like, it's it's a wind up, and it's funny at the same time, because you see, like, I seen these other two girls come over, they stood there just next to me, and then about a minute later their Uber turned up, they got straight in. I'm thinking, why is it they know that but then this other guy doesn't? Privileged, that's all it can be. You know, he's been sent to university, there you go son, we'll pay for all this, you go down there. He just treats people like idiots. So it's the only way. I was speaking to driver Denny, and I said, I think I've done three 1 stars up to now tonight, and blocked him. And he was like, fucking hell, he said, you're handing them out. He said, I think I've handed one out in like the past 3 months or something. I said, honestly, I've just been dealing with idiots all night, just proper arrogant people. And that was it. So then I drove from there into Ormskirk, where I am now. I'm just at Morrison's. Just a couple of really small jobs were coming up, like £3.50, £3.90, and I thought, look, it's like 8:20 on a Saturday night. I'm not doing these like little £3-4 jobs. I didn't mind that other one, like I said, because the door was open and I thought the guy was going to be stood there. I'm not going to wait for £3.70, am I? And then that was it. So I've just logged off now. It's just gone really quiet. So I thought I'll do this update because it's been so long. I'm going to go back online and I'll see if there's anything, because I've got about 40 miles of range left. So yeah, I'll see if anything happens. If it gets busy again, great, I'll stay out for, you know, another hour or two. But if the jobs just keep coming up and these little daft 3-4 quidders, honestly, I'd rather go home and watch telly, to be honest. So yeah, I think in them last 3 hours, I took a screenshot. I was offered 42 trips and I'd done 7, and that was £87.58. So pretty much about £30 an hour for them last 3, not too bad. So I'm currently on 197 and I've done 6 hours, so I'm on £32.83 an hour. So it's been alright, to be honest. It's been ticking over, and like I said, I think a lot of them jobs have been because I've been getting quite a few XL jobs, and I've been doing quite a bit of running for them, and I don't mind doing that running, because I think some of them jobs were like, you know, it was like £20, it was a half-an-hour job, but I had to run almost 20 minutes to them to do a 10-minute job. But I didn't mind it, because I was just looking at it as, well, it's 20 quid for the half an hour. I only then need to get another 10 or 20 pound job for that, and then you're on your 30-40 pound an hour, because, you know, it's not like you're going to be averaging £40 an hour or anything like that. That's like almost like New Year's Eve kind of rates. So Saturday night you should be getting at least £30 an hour. If you're not, it's either a really crap night or you're accepting stupid jobs. So it's one of them two things. So yeah, I'll go back on now and I will see what happens. So if I don't do another update, that's because I've hung around for about 20 minutes or so, and Uber's basically just annoyed me with really annoying jobs. So I've decided to go and get food and go home. Or you might see me again in a bit with a little update. So I'll catch you in a bit, or on the next one.